Hey everyone. If you're being more vulnerable and sharing, being more transparent, part of that is being authentic and sharing who you are, where you are. And sometimes that's not always pretty. But there's also a balance between that and focusing on the positive, noticing the good things in our lives. So how do we find that balance? How do we be authentic and also still have room for to see the positive, the sunny side of life?
Well, the way I took this topic to mean is how to be authentic, and when do you not bring in all the negative stuff?
Okay.
Because there's so Brad Blanton wrote a book called Radical Honesty.
Mm-hmm. Great book.
Great book. Has lots of swear words in it. And
Yeah,
it's
he's a little bit crazy, but it's really good information.
It's rare to find a self-help book with swear words in it. And so it's delightful for me and my New York sensibilities. And his thing is tell the truth no matter what, at all costs. It's a great framework, but I do think you need to pull back a little bit on it, because what people end up doing is they use radical honesty as a means of bludgeoning people with their opinions.
Yes.
And so one way to figure this out is, when are you sharing with people things that are going on for you versus when are you offering people your opinion when they didn't ask for it?
Yes.
And so for me, the authenticity piece is, hey, I've got this stuff going on. I'm using a lot of my I statements for things that are happening for me, and I'm being authentic in sharing with you my actual concerns and what's going on for me. But I'm not dumping on you, and I'm not using my authenticity and vulnerability and transparency as a means of taking a swipe at you.
Yes.
The joke in the self-help communities is use your I statements, and then somebody's like, well, I think you're an a-hole. So this is more about being authentic and being in the moment and voicing responsibly when you're having challenges with somebody's behavior or what's going on in a situation. But also, whenever you can say positive things, that's authentic too. Yeah. If you're not sharing and being vulnerable about acknowledgments and affirmations and positive things more than you're sharing and being authentic about the negative stuff, something weird's going on, and it's probably on your side of it around some sort of integrity piece,
or maybe some needs are not getting met and you're not asking for them directly.
Sure, which is still ultimately is on you.
Yes.
You're in charge of getting your needs met. And so if you're the unhappy one and all you have in a relationship is to complain, because that's authentic for you to complain, I'm going to sit here as Reid, the relationship coach, and be like, why are you still in this relationship?
Yeah.
What's that about? Where's the authenticity there?
Right.
Where are you taking responsibility for it?
What if it's not particularly about the relationship? What if a person's having a really rough week? And we've all heard people say, oh, focus on the positive. But what if you're genuinely, I can't talk today, genuinely feeling like crap? And you're having trouble focusing on the positive. Is it authentic to share that with someone who's close to you? Or should you really try to be in your power and be positive?
I have this image of somebody has stabbed you with a knife, and you're like, what a nice knife. Look at this. Look at the detail work on this handle grip.
And they stabbed me so it didn't rip my trousers.
This is really nice because you know what? You just missed my heart. And I haven't died instantly. Thank you so much. No, that's not what that's about. Acknowledge what's real. That's authentic. What's actually going on is, today I have a migraine and I just broke a tooth and I feel crappy right now. Thank you for sharing. How can I support you in you getting that handled?
Yes.
For you?
Yes.
And ultimately, I'm not trying to be a dick about it, but ultimately, I need you to tell me, to the extent that you can, hopefully, what's going on, what do you need?
Right.
You also need to do that to yourself. What's going on? What do I need? How do I get my needs met?
Yes.
Can I ask for help, support? Most of us could always use to ask for more help and support.
Yes.
I have 3 fingers pointing back at me because I don't do it that often. So making invitations for people to contribute when you have needs is not a bad thing. It's when you spew it all over everybody and expect them to take care of it all, which might just be a mood thing because you're having such a bad day and you're so
we
cranky.
all have days like that.
Yeah. But then when you catch yourself doing that, apologize for being a cranky pants Johnson and thank them for not punching you in the head.
Which would not help with the migraine.
Which would not help with the migraines. But like, so I, you know, the authenticity piece is like, be true to yourself, but also be, a healthy dose of realism helps. And then you can focus on the positive, but not at the exclusion of what's actually going on.
Not trying to shove it down or push it away.
Yeah. Don't ignore it. And I think there's also something else to be said here around, people who focus on the positive at the exclusion of what's actually going on. But at the same time, you're avoiding something. Usually it's your own responsibility in the situation. Usually, for most people.
Okay.
So, the authenticity piece also means being a realist and then being like, okay, what do I actually have control over or can influence? Like, where can you empower yourself in that situation? That's the positive I focus on.
Yes.
Not the oh my God, look at how beautiful this knife is. It's, oh, I'm getting myself to a hospital right now.
Yes.
Or having somebody dial 911.
And if
that's a horrible example, by the way, but it's just what came out.
And if it's nothing so dire as a knife in the chest, I find that it helps sometimes to look at the bigger picture of my life, because I know that when I'm having a really rough day, my focus is kind of drawn into the thing that's really knocking me for a loop. And if I can, sometimes just sharing with someone can help me get there, but sometimes I can just take a nice deep breath and kind of look around like, okay, that part of my life is not working really well today, but there's all these other areas that are working.
Like, when you fall down, don't try to pretend you didn't fall down. Like, have your little tantrum and then get back up.
And do
or
something
ask
about it.
somebody for a hand to get back up. Like, it's in the actions that you take when you're having the bad day. That's the important stuff.
Yeah.
That's the behavioral stuff. If you just sit there and get caught up in your negativity psychologically, or focus at the exclusion of reality on the positive, you've actually not made any movement.
You've locked yourself.
In my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Reid.
You're welcome.
This is Reid Mahalko from ReidAboutSex.com, and I'm Cathy Vartuli from theintimacydojo.com. And we'd love to hear what you think. Leave comments below.
Yeah. Don't talk about the knife thing. I'm sorry about that. That was a bad example. I mean, you can leave comments about the knife, but yeah, probably not. Did you just facepalm? You facepalmed.
I did.
She facepalmed. I'm going to focus on the positive.
What is that?
That you didn't stab me.